The rich person speaks and all are silent. They control the clouds. They extol to the clouds what they say. The poor person speaks and they say, who is this fellow? Sirach chapter 13, verse 23. All praise to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatawa Shai. I'd like to give double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone that teaches truth, 100% truth, according to the gospel. And what inspired me to go over that verse is I was watching a brother video. I forget the name of his channel, but he's from GMS, and he was talking about how these influencers are used out here to push as a tool to push all type of disobedience, all type of debauchery, indignations, abominations, wickedry, amongst our people. And a lot of them are paid a pretty decent sum of money to attain these riches, man. But they have a special purpose, and that purpose is to help misguide you, you Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And one thing, Esau uses them because they have they have an influence, they have a following. That means they carry a bigger voice. That means they're able to reach out and reach the masses of the people to influence them to influence them to the ways of the heathen, man, to these devils. And one thing about these devils, or these heathen nations, they know who our power is. They know we're a spiritual people and that we have a special connection to the Most High Power, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And I was reading in First Maccabees, and in First Maccabees chapter 5, if I can find it in here. I'm just kind of going off the hip, man. Like I said, watch the brother video, and through the spirit, I just want to kind of hit the iron while the fire is still hot. But and when Judas Maccabees and them were fighting against these heathen nations, man, they knew who we were. So they had they had a Confederate agenda to keep us separated from our power. Because they know that we're the only nation that had that special connection with Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Let me see if I can find it in here in the Apocrypha. I had marked it on the phone, but it's going to be different. I don't have it marked in the book. And this is going on throughout history, man, that they always came Confederate against us. Just like having a child. You have a big family, you have one certain child that, that you have a special liking to, that favorite child. And a lot of time the other kids are going to come Confederate against that child. And it goes back in our nation, even with Joseph, when Joseph, his brothers conspired together and, told the dad that he was slain, that he was killed out there in the wilderness, but yet they sold him into slavery into the, and he finally ended up in Egypt. He was sold into slavery and he ended up in Egypt. He ended up being in the royal court, and he was over his brothers. But that's the same way with these heathen nations, man. That favorite child at times, is going to come under, like I say, these other nations And as the Lord has equate them to being like a spittle. And so they try to separate us from our power. How do they separate us from our power? By trying to show that we're wicked just like they are. Actually, they try to prove that we're more wicked than they are. Really, we're spiritual, and we're really a docile, a laid back type of people. But through the programming of our oppressors that's over us, mainly Esau, Edom, they push this type of agenda, on the people, and they really starting with the young ones of our nation, man. They constantly pushing, Jake to be in all type of abominations, um, mainly to de-feminize the men of our nation. And by effeminizing the men of our nation, man, therefore they're able to destroy our nation as a whole. You take the power out of our nation, man, which is through the men. Now, the women have a very important part because she nurtures the next generation, like next generation of male Israelites. And the scriptures tell you, I'm not gonna be able to pull it out, but scriptures tells you that a man that's born a woman is fewer days, man. And why is that? Because he's not being raised up off of logic and reasoning, but rather off of emotions and of a feminine type nature. And that's why these jakes don't last long, man. That's why Edom pushes to break up the family, to take the man out of the house and have these young Jake children to be raised up under the the women of our nation. And therefore he can easily influence the minds of these young Jakes if they don't have a father there to guide them, especially during those crucial years. But that's just all part of the devils, man. They conspire together against us, man, to keep us in derision, to keep us confused of who we are. That's why when they brought us over here, they maintain, separating us from our laws, statutes, and commandments. And it's even here in First Maccabees, where they're talking about, that's where Antiochus, when he came over, that was one of his first decrees he did. He got rid of the Sabbath day. He wouldn't allow our people to circumcise the children, and if you were caught practicing the laws, they would put you to death. If you were to circumcise your child, they would put that child to death and hang them up for display, and the mother. So this is nothing new, man. And it was also, I was reading in here too, where that when they did give us our Bibles back, they put in their images of, they put their people as images of the holy ones, of the saints. So this was going on way back then, in the early, like one year, 145 or something like that I saw in here, So they've been doing this for a while. They know who we are, man. All these other nations know. The Hamites know, the so-called Africans. That's why you got a lot of Jases going over there. They're being deleted by the people. I was watching a video where a lot of these Israelite women are going over to Gambia, man, and they're being put to death, man. They're being deleted. And one of the reasons is because they know who we are. That's the main reason. But the second of all, the women coming over there with the Western mindset, and those people are not going to tolerate that. They're not going to tolerate a single woman over there trying to tell and order these men around that know the place of a man. And the one thing, our women of our nation, man, she's gotten so far out of order that she can't go anywhere. These other nations would not tolerate her, And that's why many of them getting put to death if they don't have a husband. That's why there's constantly reiterate to these, the brothers on there trying to reiterate to them, you need to get over there and find your man if you can be over there, but don't be single thinking that you're going to do like you do here in Babylon the Great. Because Babylon the Great, it pushes that feminist mindset on the women that she don't need a man, that she can do all on her own. Therefore, she can provide her own security, which, security for them is calling 911. And within a few minutes, them rollers are going to come in and be their protection. But Lord will, according to the prophecy, all that's about to come to an end, man. Once all hell break loose, that 911, those phone operators, stop answering on calls, man, those women are going to be left with their own devices, man. And they're going to be easy prey. The women and children are going to be the first one that's going to be preyed upon. And like I said, women that got so far out of order, man, they don't follow the ways. That's what Esau done, is separate them from the Bible, because she know if the women of our nation follow the Bible, she knows she's supposed to have a husband. That's her main purpose in life, is to make herself acceptable to be a wife, man, of an Israelite man, and to bear children. That should be her main purpose, not to be out here to get a government job, to be self-willed and self-entitled, where where she she can boast about the things that she's done, man. Her vanity just takes control and rule her everyday thinking. So with that being said, man, I didn't mean for this to be long, but I just want to kind of hit that point while I was hot watching the brother's video, and how they use these influencers, man, to keep our women single, help continue to help Jake go off, to help convince the men of Israel that it's okay to go out here and sleep with another man's wife, to commit adultery, to put on a dress, to follow the ways of a woman, man. So with that being said, all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Pray this lesson edifying with that. Say shalom.